What's going on, everybody? I'm holding a giant gas truck with what appears to be some part of, you know what that is in the back. I don't have to say it. There are basically 99% of the same type of people that watch this channel, and those people have some of this. I'm talking about a gas freaking truck. Well, guys, we're gonna run this one today. Before I fire it up, let's do a quick little introduction and overview on what this is exactly. Now, this particular one is a Redcat Rampage. Now, notice it has the MT sticker, but in fact, this is not a true MT. This began life as the Redcat Rampage XT. Unfortunately, the XT is no longer sold, but you can in fact pick yourself up a genuine MT, which is substantially better than this. I'll put a link to the newest MT version 3 in the description to this video. Let me take the body off, guys, and we'll do a quick review of what makes this thing quite impressive. Now, the first thing that sticks out is this 2-speed baby transmission. And I know you're asking, well, hybrid, how fast is it? Honestly, I don't know if it will shift. This will be the very first test of whether this thing will hit the 2-speed baby or not. It is always a mystery. Fit scales generally do not come with a 2-speed assembly. So it is safe to say any 2-speed you wind up getting for any fit scale is generally going to be an eBay or AliExpress special. This one is no different. Engine-wise, this one appears to be a bit of a homemade mess. If you take a look right over here in the sticker on the block, it says HY. So HY, well, those are the factory 30 or 32cc engines that Redcat equips their models with. But I noticed with my keen eyesight that the head is in fact a CY. It appears somebody has swapped out the head, and therefore we should have maybe a little bit of a better performing engine than this thing originally would have had. Now, factory, this would have had an HY Redcat 30cc. The more modern Epic MT model comes with a better 32cc. What I really love about Redcat chassis, they are fairly simple. They are full-time, four-wheel drive. You could see the giant spur gear right here. I'm moving it with my finger. You have regular front and rear differentials. Unlike the Losi products, these do not have a center diff. We have the factory fuel tank. The fuel tanks are a little bit on the small side in my opinion, but they will get the job done. Now, the pipe, I am really proud of this. This in fact has been made to fit and look great. Can I get a hell yeah for the pipe? Dual stinger. This is a King Motors Thor exhaust, generally used for a Baja. Now, this one, the prior owner that had it did himself a, I would say, not a favor. Originally, this would have had smaller wheels, but now we have the larger, robust MT wheels with the bead locks. Now, a couple years ago, I did in fact have a Runaway, and it was real bad. The Runaway was so bad that I put this truck on the shelf for about 2 years and never even looked at it. Today is the very first time I am set to run it. Since then, I have installed myself a real reliable external Killer RC Killer B kill switch. That's what this gray cord going to the engine is. Well, my dudes, I think that's enough of an introduction. Oh, by the way, we got a light bar. It's time to fire this thing up. Could I get a hell yeah for that? We ain't scared. This is not an Arma. It's a real internal combustion 2-speed baby fit scale beast. That's how you get it done. Let me take the body off right now. I have the lights disconnected, but I do have a nice fat hardcore light bar installed on this. Maybe in the nighttime, I'll take it to the sand. Let's turn it on. The beeping you guys hear, that is the kill switch. It's gonna start beeping. I'll engage. It's beeping. That's it. Spark is set. That kill switch is super reliable. Unfortunately, they stopped making them a while ago. In terms of fuel, I am running the Power Mix VP 96 octane ethanol free 25-to-1. We're gonna get some good lubrication in there. Lubrication matters. I'm gonna prime it a little bit, and it should be a fire in the hole. All right, I'm gonna pull right now. Get ready. 1, 2, 3, pull, baby. Hella loud. Well, it's driving. Oh man, I got real bad front tire wobble. I shut it down a little bit, guys. I'm thinking we need to richen the low speed needle. It was running a little bit on the high RPM side, so low speed needle right here, not the easiest point of access. I'm gonna turn it left a little bit and I'm gonna test it out again. Hear how she sounds. All right, kill switch was engaged. Let me re-engage it. It's re-engaged. It should fire up. Hopefully the RPM will drop just a tad. 1, 2, 3, pull. All right, it's better. Do a little more. Oh yeah, big difference. Way, way better. Needs a tad more. Much better. Let's test something out. Just do a quick recap here. I got the body off. T-Max is chilling right there in the back a little bit. Yeah, body fell right off. Oh my God, unbelievable. It's okay, it doesn't matter. Like I said, this is really my first one. I still need to get the tune right. I removed the fuel cap because sometimes they can actually get vapor locked, like a pressure lock, if the hole in the fuel cap isn't large enough. But my exhaust vent hole is actually quite giant. I made it like twice as big as it should have been. So it needs a little bit of carb tuning just to get the idle RPM correct. But that's the logic. Let's fire it up again and go from there. Fire in the hole again. Well, it bogged down and died. That either tells me that we still have some kind of vapor lock issue with that fuel tank, or the spark plug is going bad, or the carburetor has in fact gone bad. It could be one or all of those put together. I'm gonna try to fire it up again, but who knows what's gonna happen, right? This is my very first test run. It's a really old truck. Obviously, I wasn't the one who built it, because if I was, I would have kept it original. But the large MT wheels do look quite great. All right, so we still have the green LED. That means it's running quite good. T-Max in the back over there making some noise, showing who's boss. It's okay, I like it. I don't mind yelling. But guys, if you ask why am I yelling, now you know why I be yelling. Let's do a fire up again. It might not actually even start this time. Yeah. I would say either the carb is bad or the plug probably just went bad. Let me see, I'm going to turn off the kill switch for a hot second. Make sure it works. All right, it's beeping. I'm gonna turn it back on. I mean, it seems fine. The primer bulb is full of fuel, and I do have a good amount of fuel in the tank. It's above normal. Thinking, let's try it again. If nothing happens, well, then nothing happens. Nothing to cry about. Just gotta get another RC. We got no fire in the hole. We got the T-Max. Let's do it. 1, 2, 3, go. 2-speed, baby, I heard it. So that truck is running the OS car, but it's still the factory 3.3. Guys, my Redcat's chilling out here for a second. Yeah, T-Max, baby. That's how you get it done. That first run was not very successful. Well, I got the truck back. It's not noisy anymore. It's time to do a couple of tests. Now I'm going to try to fire it up again, but like I said, it's either a low voltage coming from the battery, which I literally just charged before I went to the track. I haven't charged it again, so I will do a little bit of a voltmeter test right now. Then we will see if it fires up again. If it fires up, then we know the spark plug is probably okay, but who knows? It could still fire up and the plug could still be faulty when they heat up a little bit. Well, let's do the tests. Redcats don't have the most convenient battery boxes, especially this one. I had to drill a hole to get my JST plug outside here for easy charging. Normally you have to remove the screws. There's 4 of them and you can charge the battery that way. The Baja setup, anything Roven is way more convenient, but that's what it is. So we're looking for anything above 6 volts on the readout. Above 6 volts, we should be completely safe, and the fail-safe should be fine. Yeah, so we got 6.7 volts. That is plenty of juice. The kill switch should be fine. And I didn't charge it. I left this like this overnight, in fact. So battery issue has been eliminated. Next issue we're going to examine is the fuel cap. Now this has a giant vent hole. It is normal to see that. I've enlarged it to a giant diameter. There should no longer be any issues with any kind of pressure lock, vapor lock issue. Sometimes the gas RCs do have that when the inside of the rubber grommet, these are basically a 2-piece design, there is also a hole on the inside. Mine isn't clogged. It looks completely normal. And in fact, yeah, I could still see through it over there. It's definitely not clogged. So the vent should not be an issue. It was odd though, when I did remove the fuel cap the other day when I was at the track, you heard a noticeable drop in the RPM. So that leads me to believe there's still something not great with the fuel system, but the vent cap I think we could eliminate. I've even blown through it. It is 100% not clogged. I've checked the fuel lines. You could see I've installed a new Tygon fuel line. That's that clear one. Normally Redcats come with a real thick kind of hard black fuel line, but this one has also been modified by me. The fuel lines are perfect. Look at that. That's some sickening setup over there. Oh yeah, I could see this thing has an 8K clutch spring on the inside. It's hard for you guys to see, but I'm telling you, there's a red clutch spring that I could see through the clutch bell. That's why when you hit it, it engages a little bit on the late side. So far, we don't have a battery issue. We do not have a fuel tank issue, and I think we don't have a fuel line issue. The carb, I honestly don't remember if I ever changed this carb when I picked this thing up. I'm gonna have to go back and watch my old videos. And now it's time to actually fire it up. We've eliminated the battery problem. We've eliminated a possible fuel tank clogging issue. Next up, well, will it fire up again? I don't know. When I was at the track, I couldn't get it started. So that could be a bad spark plug, which honestly I hope it is. If it doesn't fire up, I'll know it's the plug more than likely. By the way, I am running the FlySky GT5 radio with a 3rd channel kill switch on the remote Killer B Killer RC kill switch. Get these radios. I'll put a link to this in A main. A great radio, up to 20 model memory, super reliable, easy to bind, great readout on the LCD, and it's extremely easy to use. This thing will not piss you off, I'm telling you. Get it. I'll put a link to it. All right, let's turn it on. All right, so the failsafe is activating. It's gonna start making a noise. The LED is blinking, so we'll activate the kill switch here on the radio. That's it. LED is going to go to a solid, and we should have spark not being cut off to the plug. There is still plenty of fuel in the primer bulb, so that leads me to believe that a carb could be okay. It doesn't guarantee that it's going to be okay, right? Because, you know, when things warm up, they tend to perform differently. The diaphragm could be bad. So right now we're just figuring out whether it will fire up again or not. All right, let me do a couple small primes over here. Just one little tug. That will pull fuel into the system. Now I'm gonna pull it a little more vigorously. It should start up. Well, I hope it starts up. Let's go. 1, 2, 3. Fire in the hole. Oh, high compression, baby. High compression. From the noise. I mean, it seems to be running okay. Idle is a little low. Let me raise it. All right. Carb response. Kill switch still works. Well, I mean, that was a positive test result. Let me activate the kill switch back again so it doesn't beep nonstop. All right, I'm gonna shut this thing down. What do I know so far? I know that the spark plug is okay, but of course when it heats up, maybe it won't be okay. Who knows? There is a ceramic insulator in this material. Maybe when they heat up, the spark doesn't travel as well. It's a possibility. Other possibility, maybe the carb will eventually go bad. Right now it started up fairly well and consistent, and the engine has insane, look at that nice little smoke coming out there, reminding me that we're burning some gas, baby. But yes, reality is fired up well. The compression is real high in this engine. In fact, some of the highest I think I've ever really seen. There's definitely no fuel leaks. So I don't know, that's a mystery. I guess I'm just gonna have to run it again and try to duplicate that condition. That's really the only thing I can do. By the way, when I was running it before, the suspension geometry was real bad. So the prior owner converted this to the MT wheels, and I'm assuming used the original smaller XT wheel hubs. I could see a good amount of drumming here in the hubs actually. So whoever did this really did not do this truck any favors, to be honest with you. It handles real bad. It's hard to carry. It's heavy, but it sounds juicy. Now, I don't know if I'm going to continue this video right now and do a further investigation. Maybe yes, maybe no, I don't know. It needs a little bit more work. I got to move on to some other gas and nitro RCs. This one has had its turn. I know that it still needs a little bit of problem solving. Well, my dudes, I want to say thank you all for watching. If you want to get one of these, obviously a much better one than this one, the real true MT version is still sold and available at A-main. I will put a link to it in the description to this video. I highly recommend you pick that one up. You're not going to have the problems like this one has, and you will have a proper quiet exhaust. You will have these giant freaking wheels, and you will have a good 32cc engine. With obviously the real MT model comes with a lot more aluminum than this one. This one is, as I said, just a conversion. But at the end of the day, gas and nitro is where it's at. at least on this channel. Thank you guys. I'll see you next time. If you smell what the Nitro gang is cooking.
Your girl so fine, but her breath is like woo. She say she wanna dance, but she don't know how to woo.
Nitro World Order.